Welcome to The Gender Rebels, a question and answer podcast that explores life outside the gender binary.
I'm Kath, a cis woman and ally.
And I'm Faith, a trans woman.
Special thank you to all our Patreon supporters. Hey everyone, I'm Kath.
And I'm Faith.
And we are reviewing the movie Carol.
Carol!
Why are we reviewing Carol?
Because Carol's gay?
And
it's Christmas.
It's Christmas! We are recording this on Christmas Eve. You might be listening to it on Christmas Day or sometime after. Hey, 2020 sucked. We're not going to worry about that for now. We're going to talk about Carol.
We did a gay Christmas movie. The Kristen Stewart and Aubrey Plaza and Dan Levy.
Happiest season? Festivest season?
Happiest season, I think.
Enchanted season?
For
Whatever.
our Patreon. So if you want to hear that review, you can hear it for just $1. And so this was Carol.
All right. I liked Carol. Did you like Carol?
The film or the character Carol aired?
The film.
Okay, I don't think I particularly cared for it.
Okay, so let's talk about what Carol is. I see you have Wikipedia in front of you.
I do. Carol is a 2015 romantic drama film directed by Todd Haynes. The screenplay by Phyllis Nagy is based off the 1952 romance novel The Price of Salt by Patricia Highsmith. The film stars Cate Blanchette, Rooney Mara, Sarah Paulson, Jake Lacey, and Kyle Chandler. Set in New York City during the early 1950s, Carol tells the story of a forbidden love affair between an aspiring female photographer and an older woman going through a difficult divorce.
So what we get here is a lot of period pieces, a lot of classic cars, a lot of amazing outfits, and the exquisite Cate Blanchette's hair.
Peace be upon her.
Peace be upon her. We cannot speak her name without preceding it with the exquisite Cate Blanchette. And partway through the movie, because it is slow, it's atmospheric, it builds, and whatever, but it's slow. I was bored at parts. You did comment.
I was bored even more so, yeah.
that you would watch Cate Blanchette model suits from the 50s while smoking cigarettes.
The movie I would prefer to watch is called
2 hours.
Cate Blanchette models clothing from the 40s and 50s while walking around wet streets at night with neon signs. And she smokes cigarettes and maybe tells a story or something with martinis in her hand.
And occasionally winks at the camera.
Yes.
Yes, I would watch that movie as well.
Because that is kind of what I was watching this movie for. It was a well-shot movie. There was actually a number of sequences where, they really used the sets to kind of frame things emotionally and things. Like, it was a well put together movie. I very much felt like the characters did not behave like human beings.
Oh, that's interesting.
In a lot of it. And also weren't named like human beings because Carol's husband is named
Harge.
Harge.
Can you spell Harge, please?
Harge.
What's Carol's last name?
Aird. Harge Aird.
He's Harge Aird.
Harge Aird.
Their child's name is not Jennifer or Susan or Jane.
Or even like Mary or something. Rindy. Like Cindy, but with an R.
Is the child.
Rindy Harge.
Rindy Aird. And then the other woman is like Therese, but she's Therese.
Yes. She's got a Belivet. But she's like, it's Polish or something.
It's Czechoslovakian.
Okay, it's Czechoslovakian, whatever. I clearly wasn't paying enough attention to this movie. Anyway, so they kind of have their little meeting because Therese works at Franken Mills or something. She works at Gimbels. She works at the Gimbels or the Macy's or whatever. It's supposed to be like the Frankenbergs.
Okay.
So she works at a big department store. It's Macy's. It's Macy's on 34th Street. They just couldn't afford it. And so So Carol comes in a fur coat and gloves, looking very stylish, and she's like...
And distinctly more attractive than everyone else around her.
No, that's just called being Cate Blanchette.
The exquisite Cate Blanchette.
Yes.
But also, like, the way people were styled. They all were 40s and 50s. They all had their hair set. They'd had curlers in earlier. But they were a little more grim, a little more lumpish.
Oh, they definitely, that was, I think, an aesthetic choice.
She was in a fur, red lipstick, little red hat, luminous. It was perfect. Mm-hmm. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And she buys a toy. She leaves her gloves. And this shop girl with short little bangs. You know Rooney Mara if you watched The American Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
But not Mara Rooney.
No, not Mara Rooney.
There is a Mara
Mara
Rooney, right?
I don't think you're right.
I think
There's another Mara out there.
There's a Mara Rooney because she was in The Martian.
Fine, look it up.
Mara Rooney. Okay, there's Rooney Mara, and then there's who's the Mara who was in The Martian?
You're thinking of Mara Wilson, who was not in The Martian.
No, I was not. Who was in The Martian?
All right. While Faith looks that up, I can tell you that Mara Rooney's partner is Joaquin Phoenix. And
Kate Mara. That's
Kate
who I'm thinking of.
Mara,
Kate Mara.
fine. Okay, those are different people.
Okay, yes, they are different different people.
We'll address the Kate Mara issue in another episode.
Being like Joaquin Phoenix's partner is kind of gross. No one should have to date Joaquin Phoenix. I don't like Joaquin Phoenix. He's one of those people. If he's in a movie, I will go out of my way to not watch it.
I do not feel as
Him
strongly.
And Nick Cage.
Okay.
Yeah. And who's the fat guy? Seth
Rogen?
Seth Rogen, yeah.
Carol is a slow burn, and it's very pretty, and it's Christmassy, and it's gay. Mm-hmm. For that reason, it was wonderful to watch on Christmas Eve.
It gets gay.
2/3 of the movie, and we checked the time. 2/3 of the movie, we do finally get to see a boob. And, it is building until that time. And there's a lot of, the strain of being a gay woman at that time. Carol is going through a horrible divorce. Her husband might take her daughter away forever, Rindy, because of her morals.
Mm-hmm. Her immorality.
Her immorality clause is a way
Which I'm guessing they have a prenup. Because he's rich.
Wait, why would that mean a prenup? That's just a divorce thing, I think. It's divorce and custody.
Would there be an immorality clause in the prenup?
No.
Because what's the clause in? The clause has to be a part of a contract.
I think it's like the law says you're an unfit parent.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Back when being gay made you an unfit parent, and which it still is in some parts of the U.S.
within instruments of a contract. So it was a contract.
Maybe it was all part of this marriage
prenuptial
contract.
Agreement, which is the contract.
You know what? Lawyers, let us know.
Who works in contracts? Raise your hand. Okay, then.
So Carol is luminous. The luminous Cate Blanchette playing Carol is faced with a choice if she gets to be her true self or she gets to maybe see her daughter from time to time. And we're not going to do spoilers, but that is how the movie goes. It is established that Carol had a former love affair with Sarah Paulson, another famous lesbian we were all fans of. And there was a very cute cameo at the end with Carrie Brownstein of Slater-Kinney. And you know what? The movie was a little slower than I had anticipated. There's some road trip stuff. There's some diners in the 50s stuff. There's outfits. All in all, I'm a little disappointed compared to what I expected, but not a bad movie. Very pretty. And the luminous and exquisite Cate Blanchette.
I actually had
amazing.
I thought it was a very beautifully shot movie, except I swear the whole movie had like a green tint to it, which had to have been like an intentional choice. And I'm like, why did it not have a golden tint if it's supposed to be the 50s, which is generally what movies back then had, sort of yellowish red tint to
Perhaps
them.
you were supposed to feel a little off kilter.
Maybe.
Like I always felt off kilter watching A Christmas Story, because that's a very bright white light. There's no golden 50s hue. It's sort of
I think that one was set in the 30s.
It was, and it was sort of blunt and straightforward with its presentation.
I liked Christmas Story. I grew up with it, but on the other hand, I haven't seen it in 20 years because I just got sick of it being constantly a thing.
I watched it too many times. Yeah. I'm gonna take a break from it.
I hope to watch it maybe in another 10 years.
But you didn't like Carol. And that's okay.
I thought that my issue with it was, okay, one, it's very slow. And I can enjoy slow movies. I will review the movie Love Story with Jenna Malone, which is an incredibly slow movie where nothing happens in the whole damn movie, but I loved it. This one was slow, but it also, I felt like the drama that it did sort of infuse it with felt very like Lifetime movie.
It hadn't earned the
the gravitas. Yeah, whereas like love song, the Jenna Malone movie, which is on Netflix, I think. We'll review it another time. Yeah. Is very slow and nothing happens and it doesn't come at it with any gravitas. Okay. This one, I felt like it had that and it didn't earn it. Also, Carol, I get it in the 50s and you're a Sappho, as they might have been called back then, and you're like not really out because you can't be out, and even in New York City, you know, you got to find the right parties in the 50s to kind of be out at. And it's tricky. You take what you can get as far as hoo-ha. And so I get it that like this Rooney Mara might have been so desperate for anything, but Carol is not someone you hook up with. Like if someone behaved that way and like I returned their gloves and then they called me at work and were like, "Can I buy you lunch?" I'd be like, "Okay, maybe. All right, you're resplendent, certainly. All right, you can buy me lunch." But then like she's like, "Do you want to come to my house Sunday?" And like in New Jersey, I'll drive you. I'd be like, "No,
maybe
this is going a little too fast." And then so she invites her out there. They go to her house in New Jersey, which is like a friggin' castle, and like her husband comes in and there's like a ton of one. Her kid is there.
Yes.
Too, which maybe in the 50s, whatever, women and kids. But like if someone is inviting you to a second date at their house in the country and their kid is there and they're decorating the Christmas tree, I'm like, that's already getting a little heavy. And then their husband comes in and angry. Even if it's their ex-husband or they're getting divorced or whatever, and they're like having a fight and you're just there, that's when you're like, this person has too much shit going on.
Yes.
I do not want to get involved with this person.
Yes.
I am backing the fuck away. And maybe Rooney Mara in the 50s, Therese or whatever her name is, Therese didn't have a lot of options.
Or she was young. Like they established that. She might have been 18 or 19 for all we know.
Yeah.
There's that thing when you're very young where you're like, I don't know whether I need to be drawing a boundary here or how to enforce that. Like that's something that is easy for you and me to see and decide right now.
I've done all kinds of shitty, stupid things for people.
Exactly.
Before I found a good one.
That's right. So now we would say, look, you've got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And you are fucking exquisite. Give me a call in a month after you've had some time to really focus and sort your stuff out. Can't wait to see you. Bye.
And then
that's it.
Yeah, and then the next thing that happens is she's like, "You know what? I'm going across country for a while. You want to come with me?" And again, when that sort of level of drama has happened,
worse, I'm going to drive west.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going. Want to come? Yeah.
No. Back the fuck away.
You don't want to go.
And then as they're on their trip, she finds the gun in Carol's bag. And it's like, all right, that's like just an even more crazy thing.
But by then she's already on the trip.
But she can be like,
let's talk about the gun.
Let's talk about the gun, or can you drop me off? Do you have money for a bus ticket? I can get home or something. But yeah, at that point, you got to be like, it's a lot of crazy going on. And to be fair, this woman, she had a boyfriend who I think had tried to propose. And she has the boyfriend he was in the office, but he was also the schlubby guy. Not schlubby, he's like a fit guy, but he's always the guy who gets dumped in like everything.
But a handsome guy.
He was in the High Fidelity remake. He was in no, I don't have it, but he was in the High Fidelity remake. He was in The Office. He was like a later season of The Office. He was in Obvious Child. Right. So there's him. He's like trying to be like, hey, date me. And she's got some other friend who's like, hey, come to my work sometime late at night and I can introduce you to these photographers at my work. Or try to kiss you here in my office at 3 a.m. for some reason.
Where it's dark and no one else is around.
I've worked at newspapers. Newspapers are not dead at 3 a.m. Newspaper... that was actually one thing I loved about the newspapers. Like, it worked great for vampire hours because we were getting off work at like 7 a.m.
Beautiful. This is when I want to be asleep.
And so Yeah, the idea that a newspaper is dead at like 3 a.m., that is when they are busiest.
Yeah, no,
I guess it depends on the newspaper. It depends on what department you work in or whatever. But
and I also feel like what you're talking about is the thing that someone in her early 20s might be experiencing. Is like, there's this perfectly good guy who wants to marry me and take me to Paris. And, you know, that's an option I need to keep open because girls get married.
Yeah.
And I also am an aspiring photographer. This guy might be able to hook me up with some people at the New York Times. And here I am getting kissed by him in his office. Like, I feel like that's how it is when you're very young and you do need opportunities, or in this era, you do need to get married. You have to get married, basically. And she was sort of figuring out as a lesbian how her life was going to be, you know? And
I'm just saying she had far less drama than Carol.
Yeah.
Carol had shit tons of drama.
I do think Carol could have coped with some things better. I think
Carol
made it harder on Therese than it needed to be.
Yeah, and okay, here's the thing. I don't care how much you're crushing on the girl in the shop, but if you're in the middle of a divorce and a custody battle, and you're like arming yourself and thinking of leaving driving across the country for no reason, all this shit. If you've got this sort of shitstorm and you sort of are crushing on the shop girl who sells you a toy train, maybe don't involve the shop girl in your craziness. Maybe get your life together, and then you can maybe meet the cute girl at the shop, okay?
Maybe Carol thought her life was together.
Her life was not. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure this was Carol with her life together. Something tells me Carol is one of those people who's just going to surround themselves with drama.
Possibly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our review of Carol. Watch it if you like. It's definitely visually wonderful.
Visually stunning.
Story could have been better. Yeah.
Story could have been better. I felt the story was very weak. And there is you get one nice little sex scene.
Yep. Nice sex scene.
And unfortunately 2/3 in.
Yeah.
These girls barely kiss. I mean, it's like, we got to watch a better lesbian flick.
And either I wasn't paying attention or it wasn't like the sexual tension was building. It was just them sometimes hanging out and sometimes not. But, whatever. It's not for everyone. And, it's on Netflix. Watch it if you want.
I would say it's not a very Christmassy movie. People talk about whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not. I think this one fits in. There's like Christmas.
This one's light on Christmas.
It's light on Christmas, and there's an argument with her ex-husband about where she's going to spend Christmas and blah, blah, blah.
They decorate a tree. They buy a present. You hear one Christmas Carol, and it is Silver Bells.
I like
so it's not the most annoying of Christmas carols.
like that at the beginning, the guy's like, compliments of the company, here's a hat.
Yeah.
Compliments of the company, here's your Santa hat.
But you have to wear it
on the floor. But you have to wear it on the sales floor.
At
and
the
that's their
store.
Christmas bonus, is a Santa hat that they have to wear.
Yeah.
At the Gimbels, at the Macy's.
Or the Macy's. Or whatever it is.
On the whole, I looked it up. I tried to look it up to see if there were any gay people actually involved. Because Cate Blanchette, loved by the lesbian community. I don't think she's gay.
I don't think she is gay. No.
And obviously there were a handful of gay people involved, but Phyllis Nagy, I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. It didn't feel like it was written by gay people. It felt like it was written by straight people because it just kind of had that. I don't know. It kind of had that. The characters weren't acting like people in a relationship. Like, there was something too crazy about it, too dramatic, extra dramatic.
Okay.
Like, just thinking about the happiest season, and like that one is like the two lesbian characters in that are like written like people generally.
That's true.
Who are just in a relationship. This one is written by I swear to God, the two main leads, and I'll throw in the husband who acts like a crazy maniac the whole time. He's just basically shouting the whole time.
He's violent and alcoholic.
Yeah. And then Carol just comes in acting all, look at me, I'm beautiful. Come with me, Rooney Mara. I'll wreck your life like I did my own. And then Rooney Mara, who just sits there, stares at everything with her like bird face. She's a very attractive actress,
Yes.
but she does just have these big eyes and just sort of stares at everything, sort of like she's letting the world wash over her, you know?
She even says that at some point.
She does.
That she doesn't have choices in things, and she just has to say yes to things. Maybe her face conveyed that so well that now you think that's what her face is.
Maybe. I never saw a girl with a dragon tattoo. I don't think I've seen her in anything else.
I think both of the leads are very good actresses. I don't know if the script gave them a lot to work with.
I don't think it did. I think it was a very limited script with action and drama that felt very hyped up for how minimal it was. I get that being queer in the 50s, being queer now in the wrong places, but like being queer in the 50s in the US, like, yeah, that could get you divorced. That could ruin your life. That could get you locked up in jail.
You never see your kids. You have to see a psychiatrist.
You could get fired from your job. Yeah. You can get fired from your job from being gay in some states in the US still.
True.
Or for being trans. And so it's like, I get that there is drama inherent to that, but that wasn't the drama. Yeah. Her husband's not really threatening to tell anyone. He's just trying to use the gay thing to get sole custody of the kid.
Yeah. But that's bad too.
It is bad, but I'm just saying it's not like he's trying to get her fired from her job or whatever, or threatening to out her to her family or something.
That's true.
And he's not
different ways to lose in this world.
Yes,
though.
it just felt the drama of this and this story felt so utterly surface level that I felt like I was watching the most beautifully shot, well acted Lifetime movie.
Very well.
And that is my opinion of it.
All right. Well, listeners, give it a watch. It's on Netflix. Let us know what you think. And hope you had or have a great Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Crimbo. Happy other holidays. Saturnalia. Whatever floats your boat. Kwanzaa. Hanukkah.
Yeah. This is a non-denominational podcast. We just want you to be happy
just
right
be
around
happy.
now.
Celebrate however you celebrate and enjoy.
And we will talk to you next time.
All right, everybody.
Bye. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to help us keep making great content, go to patreon.com/genderrebels.
Please leave a 5-star review on iTunes.
And send your questions to questions@genderrebels.com.
Music for the Gender Rebels is by Jasper the Colossal. Link down below or download them on iTunes.
For all our episodes, visit genderrebels.com.
Gender Rebels is a Comeback Sync production. Copyright 2020, all rights reserved.
And to all you gender rebels out there,
keep rebelling!
Hey everyone, I'm Kat.
And I'm Faith. Did you say cack?
I did not say cack, I said Kath, and everyone heard it that way.
Okay.
And we are... Nope. Okay, yeah. Hey everyone, I'm Kat.
And I'm Faith.
And we are reviewing the movie Carol.
Carol.